Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Your Manchester with me, Ms. Belinda Scandal.
And me, Mr. Mark Llewellyn.
How are you? It's like deja vu.
Well, it certainly is. I've aged just sitting on this sofa, you know.
Just so have I.
Yes, I have.
I really have.
But yes, we've had a lovely week. We were out yesterday, and
Yes.
and we've got a fun packed show.
We have got a fun packed show. Tell me, have you ever been on the Orient Express?
Yes.
Have you?
Several times,
Did you
actually.
love it? Is it as posh as it looks?
Oh, it is. It's lovely.
Well, you know there was a murder set on there by
No.
Agatha Christie, and it was called Murder on the Orient Express.
Was it?
Yes. Now they're bringing that to the Lowry
Are
very,
they?
very soon, and that's going to be absolutely sensational, full of big characters. I love a big
Yes,
character.
you could be very good on the Orient. I could see you.
Who would I be?
You could be a Russian countess.
I could call myself
Yeah.
Countess Hujnika Bolokov.
Oh, well, that's,
Couldn't I?
that's our contract with CBBC, isn't it? We lost half the audience there. But yes, I could see you mysteriously floating about.
Literally, I don't think you can get this much weight to float. But anyway, it's the taking part into. Who would you be? I could see you as a Poirot, you know.
Do you think so?
Yes.
With a little moustache?
Yes, I could see you as a Poirot. You'd be very,
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we work on that for
I
Halloween.
prefer to be a murderer. For Halloween?
Yes.
Oh, we could do a special,
we
couldn't
could
we?
do a murder. Yes, we could have a murder.
I've got a list of people.
Have you?
Yes,
So have
that
I.
we
They're in
could
an
murder.
urn dotted
Yes.
about somewhere. Also, today, talking about big characters.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on Margaret Thatcher?
Well, obviously a controversial character.
Mhm.
But you could, and I did meet her.
Did you?
Yes, I
That's
did.
not a surprise, is it?
And,
eh?
a couple of times, and she was very charismatic, I've got to
Yes.
say. But a big personality, the sort you don't get today, really,
Mm-hmm.
in politics, wasn't she? And you can see that by the amount of time she's portrayed now in films or TV or whatever. But I'm wondering, has she ever been portrayed on stage?
Well, do you know, it's funny you should say that. We are 10 years into a show that portrays...
It's a long show, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like this.
Yeah. Tell me about it. You're not the one that needs to have a shave every 4 hours. Now, listen, there is a portrayal of her that's been done called the Margaret Thatcher Queen of Soho.
Oh, right.
And it takes a form of Margaret Thatcher. Had she not gone to be Prime Minister, had she not gone into politics, but had
Right.
actually become a disco diva.
A what?
A disco diva.
A disco diva?
Disco diva.
Disco diva.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Am I not as posh as you people from Bristol?
No, my love, you're not.
I didn't thought it was for 1 second.
Well, that sounds absolutely fascinating.
It's
If not slightly
fascinating.
bizarre.
Well, bizarre is what our show is all about today, because we've also sent our Josh to investigate
Yes.
the importance of black rubber, a cape, and a gimp mask.
I wondered where he was.
Yes.
Are we getting him back?
Well, I don't know. We're hoping he's not being Robin.
Oh, that'll all become apparent later.
It will indeed.
Most of the jokes are unattainable. Right. Well, shall we
Shall
have
we
a
crack
little
on
look
then?
at what
Choo
should we get?
choo, choo choo, choo choo. It's the Orient Express. Yes. Well, it is coming your way, Murder on the Orient Express, and we are very, very excited to welcome to the wonderful show that we have here at Your Manchester, Paul Keaton. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm very well, Belinda. How are you?
Very good. Tell us the story about this then.
Well, it's set in the 1930s, and a group of people from around various points of the globe come together on the Orient Express to avenge a murder.
What's your part within this?
I play Hector McQueen, and he is the sort of personal assistant to the protagonist, which is called Mr. Ratchet, and I've been his subservient secretary for about a year.
So
Yes.
what is your aspect within this? Are you a naughty character? Are you a good character?
Well, that's sort of to be revealed, really. Everyone's got a bit of a dual role to play in the piece, and it gets revealed through the course of the play what their sort of role in everything is.
Now, of course, this has been going for many, many years now, this story, and it has enchanted so many different generations. What do you think the secret of this is?
I think Agatha Christie's got a knack of doing a twist on the usual whodunit and keeps you sort of guessing till the very end. I think that's what her enduring appeal is, and everyone loves a whodunit, don't they? So,
And it's got one of the best detectives in this. This is, of course, Hercule Poirot. In relation to, I mean, what do you know about Hercule Poirot and, Agatha Christie in general? Was you a big fan beforehand?
You know, I think you can't help but grow up on it. I saw Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile when I was very young, and I've since rewatched them, and they feel a bit hokey now, but they're such great stories and they're brilliant characters, and you're bringing together such weird and wonderful characters in a sort of unique situation that it feels compelling, really.
And this is, of course, set in a very unique setting. How are we bringing this to the stage? What are we going to be able to see on the stage?
Well, you're going to see elements of the train, but I think if it was just set literally within one train carriage, it would be a bit restricted. So Lucy Bailey, our director, is doing something a bit more exciting and dynamic with it, and messing with the idea of the space and making it a bit more abstract, maybe.
And why should people be investing within this particular show?
I think because you're sure of a good night's entertainment. It's a classical play with 2 acts and with characters who are really interesting and compelling, and you're guaranteed a bit of relief on a evening at the theatre.
Now, you mentioned there that there is a lot of characters in this. If there was one that perhaps you could be playing that perhaps you're not playing, which one would that be?
Princess Dragomirov. She's the Russian aristocrat. I'd like to be her.
Really? Good costumes.
I haven't seen her costume yet, but it's bound to be brilliant.
Yeah.
It's the 1930s, and she's got loads of money, so she'll be dripping in jewels.
Oh, how lovely. Sounds right up my street, that it very much does. Now, this, like I say, it's coming to the Lowry. When is it coming to the Lowry?
The start of September. We're there for about 10 days. It's the very start of all our technical rehearsals there, so it's exciting.
There's a lot of interest in this already within Salford and Manchester. I want people to get excited about this. In 3 words, how would you get people excited about this particular play?
It's a rollicking good yarn.
I like that. Paul, thank you so much for your time today. We look forward to this. So that looks absolutely amazing, doesn't
it? Yes.
I like the idea of that very, very much.
So do I,
Very, very much.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, marvellous.
Was it nice on the Orient Express?
Yes, it was very nice.
Is it as posh as everybody portrays it?
Oh, it's very posh. You have to be very posh on it. The food is absolutely fantastic. I tell you what, go on.
Food, or because it's posh food, hardly anything.
No, it's all right, actually. And I tell you what you can do.
Yes.
In fact, we should do this.
Oh, yes.
In fact, I tell you what, we should find out if they'll have us on for free for some publicity.
Well, yes.
Because they do the Northern Bell Orient Express from Victoria Station in Manchester. I've been on that as well. You can go for like a day out.
To where, York?
Well, they do York. I've been to Bath on it. I've been to the Chelsea Flower Show, to North Wales, all over.
It's nice to know you're so down to earth.
And you have, and I could go on that, and you could do the coal, couldn't you?
I wouldn't mind doing the coal.
You could be a stoker.
That's where the noise is. Choo choo.
Mm.
Ooh. Ooh.
And she does impressions as well. That's marvellous.
Thank you. I'm here all week. I'm actually not, because we're gearing up for... You've not mentioned the set.
What? It's a marvellous set, isn't it? I was away for a week, and it's utterly changed in here.
It's because you've brought them plants, trees in.
Yes, they came from a marvellous garden centre.
Which garden centre is that, please?
I have no idea. Daisy Nook Garden Centre, daisynook.com. Very kindly provided us with those.
We are furnished.
Yes.
Our seating is furnished by a company called Mustard Tree.
It's a charity, isn't it?
Fabulous. And they're comfy.
They are very comfy, aren't they? Yes, they are.
It's all very comfy.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're trying to live in a certain type of era, which leads me, strangely enough, to a lady called Margaret Thatcher. Yes. Now, listen, whatever you can say about her, she was a strong character. She was a strong woman.
Indeed, as we said at the start of the show.
But too many
times.
Well, it's like repeating ourselves. But too many things did she say that were a bit controversial. Section 28, I will never, ever forgive her for, because that was just wrong. It was very, very wrong, that. But if we took her out of that and maybe ridiculed her a bit by putting her with no leadership qualifications and perhaps put her in front of a mirror ball where she would sing the hits of Donna Summer.
Yes.
And that would be quite good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
Well, that's exactly what this play has done. It's called Margaret Thatcher, Queen of Soho. Have a look at this interview with its main character who plays Margaret Thatcher. This is Matt Tedford. Well, joining us now, we are going to be talking about one of my most favourite people in the entire world, everybody, and a new interpretation of her story and her life, and indeed her endeavours. Yes, we are talking about Margaret Thatcher, the Queen of Soho. Welcome to the show, Matt. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me.
Now, tell us all about this then. What is it all about?
Well, the show is about what would have happened if Margaret Thatcher had given up politics, become a gay disco diva, basically Cher for the 80s, and be embraced by all the gays, and given up all of her ideals, taken a change her personality, and yeah, it's been very successful. We've been going for 10 years now. It started off as a Halloween costume that I put on for my best friend during his Halloween party, and then she died, and we were very lucky, and we put on the show as a 15-minute piece 10 years ago at Theatre 503 in London, and then we've been on the Edinburgh Fringe for 10 years. We've done sold-out runs across the country, in the West End, in Edinburgh Fringe. We've been to Ireland, we've been to Australia, we've been all over the world with it, and now we're back. We're finally getting the opportunity to come to Manchester. I'm from the Northwest myself, so I'm very happy to be coming back to the Northwest. And very lucky that 10 years on, Margaret Thatcher is still managing to give gainful employment to Northerners in the UK.
Well, she has to do a little bit of something,
A
doesn't
little
she, to
bit,
be
a
honest,
little.
with the
yeah.
way that she left the rest of the Northwest back in their day anyway. And
True.
not to mention the gays of the day as well, because she was, of course,
Indeed.
responsible for that lovely section we call like 28.
Section
She was
28,
quite
and that is what
responsible for that.
that is what the show is about. It is, of course, about Section 28. Myself, I was born in 1987, so I very much am a child of Section 28, and I remember very vividly what it was like being in school during that time and not being able to talk about being gay, or having teachers deny questions about being gay and all that sort of stuff. So yes, I'm very happy to be spreading the love and spreading the history of Section 28 at the same time through gay disco diva hits, It's Raining Men, all sung by Margaret Thatcher, and making people laugh in the process.
How do you come about? How do you mould and become the character of Margaret Thatcher?
Oh, I think, unfortunately, at this stage, like, it's very much where Matt stops or where Maggie begins. Sometimes the lines is very, very blurred. I have a lot of friends now, unfortunately, who refer to me as Maggie. Here at Edinburgh Fringe at the moment, I spend a lot of time on a day-to-day basis dressed as Maggie. So sometimes you go to bed after a few drinks and you wake up the next day and there are remnants of Maggie still on yourself, whether that be the wig, the pearl necklace, the tights, or whatever that may be. So yes, it can be quite a shock for people living with me. Going around the supermarket dressed as Maggie, going to the post office dressed as Maggie, going to have a bra measured in John Lewis on Princes Street in Edinburgh as Maggie. But yes, she's very, very much become part of my personality.
Now, what if Margaret Thatcher had become this wonderful disco diva that you interpret her to be within your show? I mean, how much do you think her life would have been different had she become this person?
Well, I think that it was interesting when we started writing the show. We sort of said that, on the paper, she is a strong, independent woman, quite androgynous, power dressing. She's certainly got an iconic look. She's very, very camp. And we sort of said, well, why is there no love for Thatcher in the gay community? And obviously it is because of Section 28. So we took that idea, turned it on its head, and decided, well, if she came out in the 80s and released a disco album, and gave up politics, what would that be like? And that's sort of the basis of what the show is about, really. It's sort of giving Thatcher a bit of gay love. So I don't know if she would have approved of the show. We've met a lot of people the last 10 years who actually knew Thatcher. We've had her nurses, we've had her bodyguards, we've had friends of the family come to the show, and they're all very impressed. We've got some very insightful conversations with people. And I think the interesting part of it was that in private, she had a lot of LG friends, and it was the interesting part, obviously, is there was the public and the private persona, and I don't think she would have approved. I don't think she would have got half of the jokes. I can't say I've ever heard it said that she was one for jokes about double-ended dildos and fisting, but anything's possible. I mean, we all know that the Conservative Party is rife with it. So yeah, but I would have been interested to meet her. I've been very lucky to experience. I've been to the Foreign and Commonwealth Office for dinners dressed as Maggie. I've been and met members of Parliament as Maggie. I've been and met a lot of celebrities as Maggie. And it's interesting that people that have met her sort of open up to you. I've met people that fought in the Falklands. It's a lot of the time it's like therapy for people when you are dressed up in that outfit, and they do share all of their memories with you. So yes, I'm very lucky, I think, to have you come out on stage and everybody has a relationship with Thatcher, so you're instantly recognizable.
What would your character of Margaret, if she was in an interview situation with the real Margaret Thatcher, what do you think one question would be that she would have asked?
That's such a good question. I can't say. I think it would be, what's your favorite disco hit of mine? If you could be anybody for a day other than yourself, who would it be? And how do you find walking on the cobbled streets of the north? And how do you rest your feet at the end of the day? Honestly, I mean, as you well know, walking up and down in heels day in day out, you get a lot of women going, "Oh, you're very nimble on those heels. You're very nimble on those heels." And you sort of, after a while, you don't really think about it. But I would love to know how she deals with her bunions at the end of the day, and how she deals with her corns after walking 9 hours in a pair of heels.
And how is Matt yourself dealing with the costumes that you're having to wear for this?
Oh, I'm used to it now. Unfortunately, there are wardrobes I have that are just blue suits and pussy blow blouses. And you go certain places, and you do keep an eye out for like, that's a lovely handbag. That's a lovely pussy. Oh, that shade of blue in that Eastex suit. Oh yes. Oh, Jack Verd. That's very me. That's very me.
She was known for her handbags. What do you keep in your handbag?
A pint of milk. A lighter, a microphone, and a credit card, because you never want to be caught short when you're dressed as Margaret Thatcher.
Yes, credit cards are handy these days, aren't they? Now this is coming to our lovely Lowry. And when's it coming?
We are coming in the second week of September. I'm very much looking forward to it. I was there. My grandparents took me to the Lowry on the first day it opened, and I've not been back since. So I'm very looking forward to being there.
It's not changed. It's still just as good.
Yeah, I can't wait. I really can't.
And your audiences are always going to be treated to the comfiest seats in the Northwest, because they're actually made by Ferrari or Porsche or something like that. Yeah, they've been well thought through. For now, though, we look forward to this. Everybody go and check it out. It is a riotous night out. It's exactly what is not painted on the tin is what you're actually getting within this show, because it's just that clever. For now, though, Matt, thanks so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
Disco.
Yes.
The world of disco. Now, we like to have a theme, don't we? So we've done a little bit of Margaret Thatcher in the disco era there. Now, do you remember in 1989 a certain superhero movie landed in the big screen?
No.
And it's a one that was originally created by a guy called Bob Kane, and it's a guy called Batman.
Oh, Michael Keating.
Michael Keaton, very good. And not the other Keaton that we've just spoken to at the beginning.
No, it's
very
Keating.
well. Oh, we're on it. I tell you. Anyway, there's an exhibition that closes on Monday, and we've sent our Josh down to investigate all that black rubber, all the maskings, and all the baddies that you can find in a dark warehouse at the back of Piccadilly for just £29. Now, I went in there. I got to tell you, I went in there.
Yes.
And I found it absolutely terrible that you were waiting so long to get into the actual exhibition.
Yes.
And the amount of people that were thick enough to think that there wasn't going to be a special entrance into the actual main exhibition in Wayne Manor, because you go into Wayne Manor and then there's this little thing that you push and it opens up. And it's very low rate. Anyway, so have a look at our Josh's report. This will tell you everything.
I am outside Mayfield Depot here in Manchester, which is currently holding an exhibition celebrating 85 years of the iconic Cape Crusader. There's going to be a lot of the costumes seen in the films and the TV shows, including some facts that you may not know. So let's go and check it out. Come on. First debuting in 1939 with Detective Comics issue 37, Batman has become an icon in pop culture. The character became popular with young audiences in the 60s with the Adam West Show. Dark Knight eventually made its way onto the big screen in Tim Burton's 1989 Batman film. Multiple actors have played the role, whether that's in animation, video games, and the different cinematic movies. Warner Brothers has created this exhibition for the special anniversary of Batman, which has been shown first here in Manchester. This room had Batcave computers, a Batcycle, multiple props seen in the movies. And my personal favourite, seeing the different Batman cowls and costumes, such as the Michael Keaton and Robert Pattinson Batman outfit. The next room is a quick trip to the asylum, to the Joker's room. The next room was very trippy with poison ivy vines covering the room. Speaking of the villains, is the villain costume display. But my favourite has got to be seeing the Bat Tumbler from the Dark Knight trilogy. It was huge and such a shame that I couldn't go in for a ride. This event ends on August the 25th, so if you're a Batman fan, then do hurry up and book your ticket.
See what I mean? It's lots of little rooms there, isn't it? They've got nothing to do with anything.
Well, it looked a bit
Dark.
low rent to me.
Well, yeah.
Like a room full of tin foil with some
Yeah.
plastic eye.
I thought the room with the masks looked very much like the entrance to Clone Zone. To be completely honest
don't
with
know
you,
what that is.
I did. That's exactly what I thought. I did. Where am I? I'm over here.
We're over there.
So yeah.
Yes.
Well, anyway, we've got a lovely show coming up on Sunday.
Yes, our live show in Sackville Gardens on the Alan
15:30
Turing
to
stage.
18:30. Yes, indeed.
Yes, is that the age range of the audience?
Most probably.
Yes.
And on that show, we have got the one and only Jam Sacks.
Yes, we have, making jam. And
Yes.
he also does chutney as well, I believe, these days.
Homemade jams and chutneys.
Yes, while playing the
Yeah,
saxophone.
He does, indeed. We've also got Shania Payne.
Yes,
Vocal goddess.
she's very good.
And then this year, we've also focused mostly on male vocalists. And the male vocalist that I've chosen to have on our stage this year is Lee
Yes.
Anthony with his 90s classics.
Yes, very good.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Ashley.
Ashley Stone as well.
Yes, what's he doing?
More campery, I'm sure of it. More
Well,
campery.
he's not camp, is he?
No, not one bit. It makes me look butch. Really.
He does.
So he's going to be on the show as
Yes, Bar Pop.
well. Bar Popper there. They're camp.
They're camp as well, yes.
Yes.
I've worked with them in the rain.
And our special guest is...
Us.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
No.
Well, at the end, yes, as part of the show, we are presenting the inaugural Your Manchester Icon Award, which is presented to somebody who either lives in Greater Manchester, works in Greater Manchester, but actually their work is seen by a wider audience.
And you're going to be doing this in your Deputy Lieutenant, Lord Lieutenant.
Well,
actually.
I'm acting on
Yes.
behalf of the Lord Lieutenant, who is His Majesty the King's representative in Greater Manchester. So I'll be in me thing of me a bit of jewellery. And we're presenting the award to...
You make my life easy. To the one, the only Barbara Knox, Dame Barbara Knox,
Dame
MBE,
Barbara Knox, yes.
OBE, an all-round goddess.
She is, yeah, Queen of the Cobbles.
Queen of television.
Well, she is. We know a fact about that, don't we? She's the second longest serving soap act.
Yes.
You don't like soap, but soap actress.
Dress.
Well, it's both, I think, isn't it? Soap performer in the world.
She's been doing it a long time.
And she's in her 90th year and celebrating 60 years
And it's
on
been
the Cobbles.
14 years since she last did a proper interview.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And yet she's chosen to come on Your Manchester,
Well,
where
why
all the
would you
stars
not? Where
come
all the
out to
stars-
shine.
Well, they do. But saying that, we need to be putting our lights dim now because we need to be heading off because we are for now out of time.
We do. Now, if you can't come to Manchester Pride, we've got two special programmes coming out, haven't we?
We have.
Which will be celebrating Pride with footage of the parade and also of our live show.
Yeah, bits of behind the scene footage of our live show as well, which
Absolutely.
is absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for coming in.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
I won't be coming in again.
I've heard that too many times. Make sure you're checking out all our socials and make sure you check out this week's podcast with our Stephen. Until then, thanks for watching this week's episode of Your Manchester.